I understand that there's some drama, boys.
Yeah, all at Rate Field on Tuesday. A fan was kicked out of the game for insulting Ketel Marte, the second baseman of the Arizona Diamondbacks' mother, and it was caught. Well, the reaction was caught on camera. Ketel was visibly distraught. He was crying as they were in the midst of a pitching change, and his team was seen consoling him. White Sox responded very quickly, banning him from Rate Field for the rest of his life, and then he immediately got a ban from the MLB that followed that. And a lot of people have had a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, banned for making a remark. What was the remark? Do we know?
Nobody has actually come forward to say what was actually said, but it was enough. It was enough for a reaction.
Let me preface what I'm going to say with it's not nice to go to anywhere, really, and insult people. It's not a good thing to just, be a a-hole, right?
Sure.
But cry me a river, guys. Like, really, you're a professional athlete. Someone says something about your mom, and you're going to go cry in the middle of the field? And now your freaking manager is on TV crying, it was just so hard for us as a team. What are we talking about? These are adult men.
What it looks like and what it is a man dealing with grief. His mother died, 8 years ago in a car accident.
8 years ago.
And that's something you don't get over.
Okay.
It's absolutely something you don't get over. And for me, being in that space, having lost a parent and thinking about what my reaction would have been if anybody would have or has insulted my father, I'm enraged.
Sure.
Interesting.
That is my first emotion.
So, what I see, the tears could have been anger tears more than anything.
It was alone tears.
Well, my thought was just like, are we that soft?
So it's not soft. It's I want to jump into the field.
Interesting.
And hurt this person that tried so hard to hurt me and got me to get to this reaction. But then it's also, if he has that reaction, we're having a completely different conversation, all focused on Ketel just being a complete mess of a human being. He's terrible at his job. He can't control himself, all because he goes after his fans. So there's no win for him here.
It's true.
So
yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I'm not going to give him crap for crying because, grief sucks. And you never know what's going to catch you and, make you absolutely lose it.
In those moments, yes.
And there's space for that, too. I also think, as the organization, they should be recognizing that fans talk crap. And I don't know that you get a lifetime ban for words.
Wouldn't make it in hockey, I'll tell you that.
I feel like he can have said it. The player can also be ticked and enraged, and also that cannot necessarily justify a lifetime ban, which is usually for people that are causing a safety issue.
From all MLB stadiums, by the way, not just this one.
I see this as justified because you've got to set a line.
There's definitely a lack of respect there, for sure.
There's a very big lack of respect, and I don't want to know what was said because that is only going to blur the line in general. But the bigger thing that I took out of this is nobody cares about men's mental health.
Oh, well, that
was.
To be fair, I've seen video of the kid now. It's come out. There's video. This is a child. It looks like
He's 22.
Oh, okay. I was guessing it looked like 17 to me. And he's just, a mouthy idiot like I was when I was 22. We were yelling things from the stands and stuff, but nobody ever,
but it's also
ever became an international incident.
Be creative.
It's true. I agree with that. Be clever.
I want to let's paint this entire picture. You're heckling at a Sox game.
Yeah.
The Sox are 20 games under 500, if not more. What do you think you are about to achieve today?
Well, you got to have fun at those games.
You do.
Listen, we love a good your mom joke on the morning mosh pit, you know? So, I don't know
But that's also a you thing. I've never loved those jokes.
Fair.
That's not something that I've never enjoyed. And to that, we don't know what the relationship Ketel had with his mother.
Yeah.
They could have been best of friends, and it's still just something that's troubling him.
I have got to hear from you. 844-955-9550. Everybody's got an opinion on this, the biggest story in sports right now. And it's very interesting that it happened right in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Maria slams my mother all the time.
Yes, I do.
But then
I
again,
do
she's not
slam
dead
your
either.
mother all the time.
Oh, how dare you?
Tell her I said, hey, she'll remember after this most recent one. But I do, because there has to be a list of things that people didn't get banned for that's far more offensive than what this is. Again, I don't think that we should bypass it. I do think that, yes, there is space for men's mental health, and we certainly shouldn't be digging on this guy for crying about his mom. Like, that sucks. But also, again, a lifetime ban from all stadiums because you were drunk and said something to a player.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
I think it's a control thing.
Yeah.
So you go into it and it's like, hey, heckle, be creative, be fun, have fun with it. We don't want to put somebody in a state of distress like that.
Yeah.
So this is setting the tone across the MLB and across sports in a certain way. Obviously, you have different thoughts about how things are said in hockey.
Well,
but
hockey,
it's just
they encourage it. The fans and players are yelling at each other. It's crazy.
And I think that's just a different atmosphere in general. So
yeah.
Well, they're making you're saying is they're making an example of him.
Yes,
like,
they're absolutely.
In case you're thinking about doing this, don't do it.
And it's possible they know what was said, and it could have been that egregious, and they're just like, absolutely not. We're not dealing with that.
Yeah.
So you let us know how you feel on the entire situation.
It's the most exciting thing that's happened over at that stadium in a while.
The Pope just had a whole church service.
Nothing is more exciting than Catholic Mass.